Hey guys, welcome to DK Cave.
Where we discuss all trading card topics, from sports cards to Pokemon.
From modern to vintage.
And this time we're going to talk about my experience at a vendor at a local sports card show. So
let's get into it. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
I know you drove down to the card show. It was a couple hours away. Can you tell us where it was at?
Yeah, it was at Dothan, Alabama. It was a small, quaint town. It was called the Flip Trade Show. It was a good turnout.
When you got there, how was the setup? What was your setup like? Where were you at? Because I know you do have preferences when it comes to where your table is.
I do have preferences where I get stationed. Okay, I like to be in the middle because that's where everybody conjugates. But for the first time, I was positioned at the very front of the entrance. Like as soon as you enter the show, get your ticket, and you come in. My table was one of the first ones you see, and definitely has its pros and cons.
Can you tell us?
Yeah. So pros, you get a lot of foot traffic, and I did get a lot of people eager to make a deal on their way out the show. So I think people just wanted to kind of like buy just a few things on their way out.
Yeah.
And my table was the last one, so that was good. But the negative, I would say, is as soon as a lot of people come in, I had a lot of interest in my showcases, but they tend to say, oh, this is great stuff. We talk about it, and then they say, you know what, let me look around and I'll get back to you. And then I look around and they're stuck in the middle, making deals. And by the time they come back to my table, they've probably spent their money and, kind of losing out on deals in a way. It felt like it.
Did you have anybody who actually did, circle around and then come back to you?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think most people, when they say they're going to come back around, they just, take a look on the way out.
Kind of like they're polite.
Yeah, which is okay. And I get it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of just what happened.
Deal. What was your favorite deal of the day? Trades. Let us know.
Okay, so I actually have a few favorites. One of my favorite deals was picking up these vintage Joe Namath cards. One's a 1967 Topps Joe Namath, and the other one is a 1969 Joe Namath. And yeah. Anyway, that was probably one of my favorite deals because I picked it up during a trade. And it was a Star Wars lot, which I didn't expect to move at all, but I bought a Star Wars lot with me, and somebody was really interested. And I saw they had a bunch of vintage football, and I wanted to do the trade because my initial investment was very low on it. So I was cool with it.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's so important to have a little bit of something for everyone, because you never know what's gonna come in, be presented to you or come into your hand.
I was on the fence on bringing my Star Wars stuff because I really had, I was under the impression not a lot of people were going to be interested because of the sports card show.
Yeah.
But it taught me a really valuable lesson because there's another item that I kind of want to mention that falls in that category.
Okay.
I bought a bunch of Disney with me, but it was a very majority sports and Pokemon crowd.
The graded Disney, right?
I had some graded Disney, Japanese, and my initial investment was probably around $10-15 on each slab. And, I didn't showcase it at all because I didn't have that much space, but some space became available, and maybe just a few hours left in the show, I threw some Disney stuff up there, and I made a really cool trade. And it was a Ty Cobb authentic handwritten
That's really cool.
card, and I traded that for a Japanese Disney card that I didn't think anybody would be interested in. And in return, I got a Ty Cobb, signature.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you, kind of opened up my eyes where don't anticipate what was going to sell. This is what everyone's gonna like. And most of the time you hear people too say, oh, I'm surprised this hasn't moved, or this guy's so hot, nobody's even interested. So that's a valuable lesson. just bring everything. You just never know what somebody's going to be looking for.
You can't
that day.
predict it.
You
like
can't.
You don't know what the audience is going to be like.
You have no idea, because maybe there's a huge Disney collector that comes in and you're the only table with some Disney, and whatever it is. I really try to have a little bit of everything, for a little bit of something for everybody.
I guess to conclude, as a vendor at a show, what is your advice to others? Any lessons to be learned?
I would say, if you're thinking about vending at a show and you have some inventory, just do it. Bring whatever you have, and just dip your big toe in, and you just never know how it's going to turn out. And at the end of the day, it's a good time. It's a great learning experience. But I would say, if you're going to be a vendor, don't be afraid to bring stuff that you don't think is going to sell, because you just never know. Obviously, if it's bulk and base and there's just a bunch of stuff that, like, there's millions of things for, but if you have anything unique and that's a little bit different and niche, just bring it. Celebrity autos, celebrity patches, anything like that. Disney, Star Wars, it doesn't matter. Just bring a little bit for everybody, and you'd be surprised how many more people will be at your table versus having all football, all baseball, or only Pokemon. Now you get to cater to a wide variety of clientele versus just your standard football collectors or just Pokemon. Like Dragon Ball Z, everything is on the table. So that's my advice for anybody thinking about it.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well,
yeah, we don't know how to, like, this is our first one.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for getting through this with us. We are very new at this, and, we're a small family business. We've been doing this a couple years now, and we're just having fun and trying new things.
Be sure to like, subscribe, let us know what you want us to talk about. We can cover any topic.